So this week we read among a list of mitzvot, one of those mitzvahs that have always given me a little bit of pause to think about, the mitzvah where there's a little baby chick and the mother bird sits protectively over it, and you have to shoo the mother bird away to take the eggs and take the baby chicks. And if you do that, then it's going to lengthen how long you have to live. And I've always sat there and been like, who is taking the egg and the chickling? And why is this even happening? And then why is that leading to the lengthening of days? After all, maybe some of you know, some of you don't. I have chickens in my backyard. The girls are working. They are working ladies producing eggs. Daniel loves going out and collecting them, but we are not taking anything away from them. We are feeding them table scraps and other wonderful things. Just a reminder, in the ancient Near East, though, protein was hard to come by, so you might take baby eggs, and you might take a baby, and you may even take a bird. And maybe you were using it for sacrifice, so in that regard, it kind of makes sense why there would be a taking. But then why would this seemingly small mitzvah of shooing away a mother bird lead to the lengthening of days, when other mitzvahs take tremendous effort, forethought, and intention, like honoring your father and mother, especially for some of us for whom that can be a challenge? This one, again, it's rather small. The Talmud itself wrestles with the exact same paradox. I wasn't the only rabbi who picked up on this question. In Tractate Chulin, the rabbis ask, how can it be that such a simple commandment carries the same reward as honoring parents? One requires a lifetime of dedication, patience, and sacrifice, and the other happens once in a lifetime, maybe. But again, I think that there's a few things. Firstly, I think if you are willing to take the time to shoo the mother bird away, you're actually doing a few things. You're honoring the fact that there's creatures who will never be able to speak back to you, will never be able to stand up and say thank you. You see that they're created also by God, because you're honoring the relationship between the mother bird and the baby bird. And I think the rabbis might have even projected that if you're able to honor the relationship between a mother and a baby bird, then you're going to be able to have sympathy and empathy for other types of intimate relationships between mothers and children, between partners and spouses, between other human beings, one for the other. I also think that it deals with the idea that small little things that we don't even think anything about, just doing something nice, can in fact lead and have the ripple effect of being nice for other people. It's kind of like the idea of the butterfly effect, where one ripple nice effect over here leads to a cascade of everybody being nice. Well, I think the rabbis were excited about that one. I don't know how real that is. I do want to believe, at least, that if you spend a little bit of time being nice, maybe somebody will receive that niceness and turn around and be nice to somebody. How many times have we run through quickly someplace and been snappy at the person behind the counter and been snappy at whomever it is? Who's ever done that? Maybe if we were nice that day, they would have been nice to the next person after you. I also think that holiness and actions are not only reserved for when somebody is looking at you or you're in a synagogue. It's reserved for those quiet moments where nobody's around to see if you've ever done this. Nobody's there to report you. You're in a field by yourself. You're not showing off on TikTok or getting likes on social media. You're not seeking approval. You're just doing a good thing regardless of the reward, regardless of the consequences. I think frequently it's easy to go through life wanting to show other people how good we are. But the mitzvah of shooing away the mother bird in a field that you come across, when there's just you and the mother bird and the baby bird, you're not showing off. In today's time, where we do like to highlight what we do, I'm sure you've seen people do TikTok streaming videos of every second of their day, as if that's fascinating for somebody. This mitzvah tells us, in private, be the good person. And in public, be the good person. I want you to think about the thing, and this is my last point I'll make about the bird and the mother and all of it. When I do funeral intakes and I'm meeting with the family, they're not sitting there talking to me about their loved one who had all of these people liking them from wherever it is. They might share with me some accomplishments, but they're more frequently than not going to talk with me about how that person made them feel, how they loved their grandmother, their mom, their uncle, and so forth. And their grandma, mom, and so forth were super kind, because that's what they remember. Those are the stories that people hold on to. And so maybe this mitzvah reminds us also, as we are in the month of Elul, to focus on kindness. And ask yourself, in all of your relationships, since we're all engaging in cheshbon nefesh anyway, have we been kind this whole year? And if not, to whom do we need to say something to engage in tshuva, to remember that it's imperative that we are kind? The Torah promises that if we send away the mother bird, l'ma'an yitav lach v'arechta cha yamim, so that it may go well with you and you may have your days lengthened. I remind you, I don't think it's because there's some divine quid pro quo. I think it's simply the natural consequence of being a good person, of being a kind person, and of bringing that kindness throughout. It's not saying that we're going to be perfect. In fact, we are all human beings. We are all going to be selfish, do stupid things, and say something hurtful. It reminds us to be a good person means to do tshuva, to get back into that right relationship and still do good things, especially when no one's even looking. And so, as our hearts increase to honor that mother bird and we honor the relationship between the mother bird and the baby, and we allow or encourage that mother bird to fly away, we acknowledge a mercy there as well. That sometimes when we need something, even if we know it may not be okay, we show others as much mercy and kindness and compassion as possible. May we all find merit in the sacred, in the simple, and through our small acts of compassion, may we indeed be a blessing to others and be blessed with a lengthening of our days. And as we continue to engage in cheshbon hanefesh, may kindness be on the forefront of our mind. Shabbat Shalom.